Ellipses, a show where we explore the collapse of society by playing fun tabletop role-playing games. I'm your host, Stu Masterson, and I'm joined by the other lonely boy.
Hey everyone, this is Jacob, and I play Ocean, a gentle giant who is like literally exclusively known for his violence. I think that's an appropriate thing to call someone who's known for violence.
A gentle, murderous giant.
I think Jacob also called that out on his
solo one. Whenever people are alone, they just make fun of Ocean. That's kind of the thing we do.
No, that's not true. None of those things are true. I made them all up. You're in a magical, mystical world of my own imagination. Because I'm Brady, and I play Book McCready, the brain picker bloodhound who is hunting the truth of his parents' disappearance when he was young.
Hey, and you've already gotten one of them. One down. One parent down.
I got one. Snagged one.
Not doing great with the other parent, though.
Woof.
That one's a big question. He's probably going to have some questions about that, too. Hope you're ready for that.
Yeah. And I'll have even more questions about why he abandoned his son.
That's spoilers for later, maybe. Also, spoilers for later, Jacob probably won't be here.
Yeah.
Who knows, though? He may pop up. He's doing a cross-country move.
He's moving again.
But for the last time ever, at least for the foreseeable future. So that would be nice.
At least in this season.
Yes, this season, no more moves between any of the main characters. But even without him, I think we have enough people here to do a BuzzFeed Presents Apocalypse, sponsored by BuzzFeed.
Without a doubt. Is it my turn to come up with something?
I was just going to ask you the same question that I asked Jacob last time, but in reverse.
You should do that.
Do you have a good answer? You had a lot longer to think about it. But for our listeners who forgot within the last 2 weeks, the question is, if you had the opportunity to choose one tattoo for Ocean that he has to put on his body, what would it be? And you're answering as Book.
I know that I should have anticipated being asked this question, but I absolutely did not. So that's good.
That's good. That's improv. That's the whole purpose of these, to get you thinking on your feet quick.
Hell yeah. Okay. So Book would commission a tattoo of a dumpster overflowing with all of Ocean's favorite things.
It would have to have like a big heart on the side, though.
Yeah. Like a bunch of cute graffiti on it.
No place like home.
Yeah. and then like the spider would be like parked on top of the heap of trash.
It sounds like a big tattoo. Where is this going?
It would be an entire back tattoo.
Entire back piece.
So like the dumpster, like I think you're picturing the heap of trash too small. So the dumpster's at the small of his back, and then the heap of trash goes all the way up to like his shoulder or his shoulder blades. Yeah, shoulder blades. And then the spider is from shoulder to shoulder across the top of his back.
I think he'd still like it, though. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
especially because it would be all his things he likes. So he wouldn't be like, this is trash. It would be like, oh, look, a convenient receptacle to hold all of my favorite things I want.
Oh my God, wait. And then in curvy cursive at the bottom, it says one man's trash is another man's treasure.
Right. That the bottom, you're getting real close to tramp stamp material.
Oh, it is a tramp stamp now.
That was a good answer. I like it.
Thank you.
You used the whole back. You used all of your canvas to fill it up. I also did not plan ahead, even though I knew I was going to be asking this question. I think if I had to choose for Ocean, I would have on one arm that classic, everyone's going to know what I'm talking about, that classic picture, high quality, excellent, high def tattoo of Avril Lavigne, the one where she's wearing the necktie at like VMA 2004 or something like that. It's going to have that. That's going to be on his forearm. And then on the backside, I guess, the inside of his wrist, I guess, going down in vertical letters, it's going to say, born to skater boy. Then on the other arm, it's going to say, I haven't finished my rhyme yet. Hold on. Forced to tater joy. No, I'm going to take an easier out. Forced. Okay, one arm, born to skater boy. Other arm, forced to see a later boy. And then it's going to have a beautiful mural on his forearm of Vesuvius, old Vesuvius, who's dead. And he's going to be shoulder to shoulder with 90% of new Vesuvius with an exploded body. And then little like halos over him and like angel wings behind him.
That's pretty funny.
That's better than Tater Joy, right? If it was Tater Joy, he'd have to be like him eating a potato.
Yeah.
But I don't think Tater Joy means anything.
I actually like Tater Joy a lot.
Okay, well, we'll let Ocean choose for his season 2 tattoo he ends up getting. Book's Nook of Book Take.
Welcome back, everybody.
Wait, someone has to do Jacob sound.
Sure.
Whoa!
Welcome back, everybody, to Book's Nook of Book Takes. I'm your host, Book McCready, and I'm going to send it right back to Stu. What's your book take? Book Nook, book take. book? What's your book?
Well, first of all, I've started reading Parable of the Sower. Have you started yet?
No.
Oh my God.
But I
Brady,
will.
Get on it. Okay. My book snook of book take, as usual, is a TV show. And it is a post-apocalyptic TV show because that's our requirement here, not things like Invincible. But really, I'm really just saying this as a reason for people to get Peacock, the streaming service that has Poker Face on it, which is the best TV show. But there's actually a good show. And it is very surprisingly Twisted Metal. Brady, do you have any familiarity with the Twisted Metal franchise? I feel like you're a little too young, not insulting you.
Don't know what that is.
Exactly. So Twisted Metal, if you were a young
I've
lad
heard of it before.
in the PlayStation 1-ish era of games, which I think was just a little before you were playing. And you didn't play a lot of consoles when you were little, right? Is that some...
No,
some
the
truth?
first console I owned was the Xbox 360. Actually, that's not true. I had a Wii.
That was really just a fitness machine, though, if you think about it.
That's true.
So Twisted Metal was a arena vehicular shooter game that was on PS1, PS2, maybe PS3. And it basically has no story. The entirety of the story is basically like a 2-line bio for each character. And the rest of it is just you drive around in cars and blow up other cars. And that's pretty much it. And sorry if there's any huge Twisted Metal fans in here who are like, I'm not understanding the intricacies. But to me, I'm a big Mortal Kombat fan. And I think it has even less story than Mortal Kombat, which is pretty hard to do. But the TV show is actually super good. I won't say it's like a great TV show or anything like that, but I will say it is a TV show that is fun the entire time. For your interest, Brady, there is a maniacal serial killer clown in it who lights his head on fire to be more scary to people. So it sounds like something you would enjoy. That's Sweet Tooth for my big Twisted Metal fans, which I must clear up the air. I'm actually not a big Twisted Metal fan. I think I played like 2 of them when I was very, very young. But watching the series, it's just like fun the whole time. And it is obviously very post-apocalyptic. It takes place in an apocalypse where there's still like cities that are completely walled off. And you're mostly you end up following a lot of different characters, but kind of the main character is what they call a milkman, which is someone who runs between different cities, who drives, I shouldn't say run, everything's a car, drives between different cities. And it's just super fun, super good action, still pretty funny.
Wait, so are there people driving the cars or are the people the cars?
No, this is not a Cars universe situation, a Pixar's car universe. This is people.
Where the Cars universe, everyone's like, oh, in the Cars universe, like, how are the cars? Obviously, they are snails that after humanity died out, discovered the empty shells of cars.
That gasoline is delicious.
No, they inhabited the husk of cars and then discovered that basically over time they evolved so that their internal organs replaced the mechanical components of the car, and they discovered how to turn the wheels and shit.
I think they still drink gasoline, though. I haven't seen cars in quite a while. I think your theory needs a little bit of work.
I think it looks like gasoline in the Cars universe, but really it's snail juice.
It's like a nutrient slurry.
Yeah, exactly.
That could be true.
I have a little book take, and that is the movie Superman, directed and written by James Gunn.
Seems like another stretch.
Well, if you've ever heard of a pocket universe ripping open a hole in Metropolis, that's pretty fucking apocalyptic.
It sounds like spoilers to me.
And it is post-apocalyptic, just not for Earth. It's post-apocalyptic for Krypton. So eat shit.
More spoilers.
Eat a giant bag of shit.
My contention is that anyone who's going to see Superman has already gone to see it.
Yeah, but I want you to know personally, you, Stu, that it is very good and you should see it.
I will watch it as soon as it's available for free on some streaming service I already own.
But then how is it going to make $1 billion so they make a sequel?
I don't know if I want them to make a sequel. I would rather they take that money and make it into a 3rd season of Twisted Metal, because season 2 is coming out probably like the day this episode's coming out. So season 1 has been out for a while now. Season 2 is about to come out.
I don't think those are mutually exclusive things. I think we can have a sequel to Superman and a 3rd season of Twisted Metal.
Money is fungible, Brady.
I'm just tired of sequels taking 8 years to come out.
Yeah, this is us at Oops All Apocalypse saying movie, TV industry, start making stuff faster.
Do more movie. Like, okay, TV shows, like, they weren't good. Like, Friends wasn't good. But, like, there was like 1 billion episodes of Friends a year.
Yeah, they can do it. They have the technology.
And now we get 6 episodes of good TV per season if we're lucky.
You should really watch Poker Face though. It's okay.
No, I watched the first season when I had Peacock, but I don't have Peacock anymore.
Well, you should get Peacock to watch season 2 because it's great.
Money's
fungible, Brady.
It is fungible.
It's fungible.
So am I.
Well, I'm cutting out a bunch of random stuff from that. So
that's only 16 minutes. That's a normally length. We just had to fill for the lack of Jacob.
Impossible. We cannot fill his shoes. But I wonder what topics were captured in this post-edit version of this, regardless of what topics we happened in. I promise I'll keep Superman in.
You don't have to leave in Super. I don't give a fuck. Watch it or don't, you cowards.
I think we should get back to the action. Previously, Book and Ocean have plunged into a series of television shows as they try to scale the tower, find Book's long lost dad, and hopefully bring the whole damn thing down, I think is pretty much your plan. You have very recently found your father.
Yo.
And he is in some sort of fugue state where he believes he is Indiana Jones in a long-running TV series, and that his son is under some crazy Temple of a Thousand Moons. Last episode, I believe the very last thing that happened was that you tried to do a little fake out and fall into the water to get him to come with you to try to create an opening for Ocean to escape the simulation that you are in, or whatever weird place you're at. I think you did a pretty bad job of that and smashed your head, so I hope you're still tracking that -1 harm on your character sheet.
I am indeed.
Leaving a nice bloody smear as you fell into the water. Very last thing that happened was Charles McCready said, "I'm coming for you, Book," and leapt in after you.
Yeah, which I thought was a slip on your part.
I've never misspoken on this podcast. I was going to say in my life, but I'll narrow that down a little bit more.
That's true. You cut out all the times you misspeak.
You plunge into the water. It is really, really cold. Much colder than you were probably expecting because you're in some like tropical wonderland here. You are immediately dragged, not by anything. It's not like you feel some like big tentacle grab you or some rope, but there is just a rapid current that drags you down deeper and deeper into just darkness.
Cool. Well, as we established, Book can't swim.
Yes.
So
you are unswimmable. At first, there's just darkness and you feel your body bumping up against all these harsh stone walls, like scraping your elbows and shoulders, and you hit your head on a few corners, and it does not feel well. Not enough to do any actual damage to you, but you're definitely getting tossed and turned around. And then, very conveniently, it seems like everything lights up a little bit, like it's just kind of dark blue everywhere. So you can see where you're at, but you are still getting dragged through these currents, and you're able to see that there's just like winding tunnels in different directions. Give me a read a sit roll.
Okay, read a sit. That was a 9 + 3, 12.
Very good. Ask me 3 questions.
Woo. Okay, so Book is spinning around underwater. Okay. Book wants to know what's his best way out of the water. Book would also like to know what he should be on the lookout for and what poses the biggest threat to him.
What you should be on the lookout for is as you're getting tossed around and suddenly everything kind of glows blue a little so you can see where you're at. You see that your papa is swimming after you aggressively like a dolphin. He is also caught in the same current as you, so it's not like he's just like mad Michael Phelps swimming up to you, but he is going through these currents, trying to take the edges tight and try to catch up to you as much as possible. So he is behind you, and it does look like he is at least closing the gap. That doesn't mean that will always be the case because you can't swim. So you're kind of just bumping around places and getting pulled by the current. For your best way out, right now you cannot see a surface, but you know you're getting dragged deeper and deeper, which doesn't sound like the direction you would want to go if you're trying to get out of the water. So you think you're going to have to fight off the current in some way. You're going to have to either try to go down another passage, hold on to something, redirect it, whatever way you can come up with. But you think just following the current is not going to lead to a particularly good exit. Your biggest risk right now, that's hard because it's very easy to just say drowning because you are very close to having that happen. But I think it is even more interesting if you hear a bone shaking, like immediate split headache feeling and hear a loud ding, just reverberate through you.
Like I'm a submarine in the Red October.
And you are the Red October that is being hunted, is what it feels like.
Cool.
And it is painful. It is disorienting.
Send one king to confirm their location. Cool beans. Cool beans. I realized I probably should have asked who's in control here, because I feel like that would have had an interesting answer.
That would have been an interesting, fun one instead of we should have been. No, I'm kidding. That was good.
Can I get a free question? Because I used to get a free question.
Nope. You got cooler, better moves now.
Sad. Okay. Well, with regards to like what I should be on the lookout for, do I see anything that like I could grab, or any alternate pathways that I could try to?
Oh yeah, there's twists and turns everywhere. There's constant chutes that go off in different directions. You do see, I guess I'll be even nicer and say sometimes near the top, you can tell that the water doesn't fully reach it, like it's splashing a little bit and it's reflecting. Not enough room for you to even stick your head above it, but you're in like a very thin coffin type chutes that you're going through. Like the water itself here is probably 6 feet deep, but there's a little air at the top right now. And your lungs do feel like they are pretty close to bursting.
Okay, Stu, I have my CO2 spike gun. I would like to take out the spike, if that makes sense.
Yes.
I'd like to make it so that when I fire the CO2 spike gun, instead of like shooting out a little bit of CO2, it empties the whole canister.
Okay, so you're trying to end of Martian jet yourself around.
Yes. And I want to, I mean, I don't know how big the CO2 canister is. But I'd like to turn it so that like when I squeeze the trigger, it just releases CO2 and I can use that to push myself into a direction where I could get some air.
Give me an act under fire first.
That wasn't very good. I rolled a 6.
6 total?
Yeah.
That's pretty bad. Okay.
Yeah.
You start fumbling with this gun and you can't remember if you have a spike in it or not. So you're trying to eject it, look in it, but you are getting tumbled around. You're going to take deprivation harm, which is actually something we've never talked about ever. All you're going to got to know is you're losing 1 armor piercing harm right now because you cannot breathe. So basically you don't have any air in you. So you have difficulty breathing, and that can lead to panic, convulsions, paralysis, unconsciousness, brain damage, and death within minutes. Just so you know from the rules, what that looks like though is just 1 armor piercing harm right now. You don't better your situation at all. You're still stuck underground, need to breathe, can't do it. As you're toying with this gun, trying to get it to work correctly, your CO2 canister completely falls out. It clunks down to the ground.
Wait, I didn't roll a 6.
Oh my God, what'd you roll?
I rolled a 7 because I was acting on information that I got from my read a situation.
That is true.
Which means I take a +1. So I technically rolled a 7.
You do not drop your CO2 canister. You do still take the 1 armor piercing harm because you haven't bettered your situation in any way. But you think you have this configured, so you have 1 good jet of air. You aren't able to like feather it or anything like that. You think when it shoots, it's going to empty this whole canister out.
Hell yeah. Oof. Okay, I have 2 options. I can either aim the jet downstream to try to push me back towards my dad so he can save me, or I can shoot down to try to force myself up and get my head out of water. But you said there's not enough space above.
Your head will not fit above. It would be like your lips barely above, maybe, and scraping along the top as you get dragged along. So
Gross.
if you get very lucky, you may get like a gasp of air.
Okay.
Which would give you a lot more time to figure stuff out, because you didn't even get a breath before. The reason you're already taking D-harm right now is because you slipped and hit your head and tumbled in the water. So you didn't even get a good breath. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll try to sneak a little scoop of breath.
Okay. Give me another act under fire roll. You also get your +1 on this one.
Well, the +1 doesn't really make a difference. I rolled a 9 with the +1.
Okay. You shoot up to the top and you are able to just barely get 1 breath, and immediately your brain feels better. You didn't get as much of a breath as you wanted. Like you could have breathed in, and you really wish you could have breathed in a bigger gasp, but you time it just right where you're able to close your mouth back up. But your gun is empty, and it has actually pushed you further away from your dad. The angle you took was not like, hey, perfectly up, perfectly back toward him. It shot you up into a single direction, and you're actually going towards a different kind of chute than your father looked prepared to move down. So you're at risk of getting separated with him again for the 2nd time in your life.
Okay. Oof. This is tricky. So
basically right now you're headed towards like a side chute that goes off in like a 30-degree angle from this one. from where you're at. You don't really know how to swim. Your gun is out of air. Your dad's like on the other side. Like there's a chance he can make it in time, but it looks like he was not prepared. You see a little fear in his eyes as you're floating backwards looking towards him.
I still have my crappy little hatchet, right?
Yes, your museum gift shop quality hatchet.
What museum gift shop has an actual hatchet, though?
Probably one that shouldn't. Probably a not very culturally sensitive museum. I will say as a bonus from your gasp of air you got, your head kind of focuses and your vision seems much more clear. So you're able to kind of think through multiple steps better than, hey, I'm just getting rocketed down here. Not that you didn't do a bad job of doing that as you crafted your gun.
Is this is like a circular tunnel or jagged or square? What are we talking here?
They're all squarish, I guess. Rectangular, at least.
Okay. But I'm still close to the top.
Yep.
I would like to kind of flip upside down. So instead of my head being up, and I want to try to like plant my boots on the wall and try to kick myself towards my dad.
Okay. I like it. Give me a try something challenging.
Fuck.
Hey, odds are you'll get a 7.
How'd you guess that?
I'm a bit of a statistics myself.
I rolled exactly at a 7.
Are you trying to like time it like before you get to this junction, or like as you're getting to it to try to dodge it and get closer to him, or what? What's the plan?
I think I'm just doing it.
You're just doing it? Okay. Without a plan. Just trying to kick off the wall.
Just trying to get closer to my dad.
Okay. So you do get closer to your dad, but he was not prepared for this sudden burst of movement. It seems like he has learned that you do not know how to swim. He's probably thinking about how he really should have taught you how to swim before he abandoned you, especially with all of the nice water adventures you've been on that he doesn't really know about.
Yeah.
Yes. And you suddenly get this big burst in his direction as you are very close to the wall and you're able to do one big full plunge off of it. And it knocks him out of his path. You are tangled up with your dad. So good move.
Gross.
But you guys go down a separate chute that very quickly leaves water and you start plummeting into open air.
Leaves water.
What
the fuck kind of... I love that.
This is some sort of exhaust chute that is going into some large cavern somewhere. And you are now falling from a pretty big height. You would assume there's water on the bottom. You can't quite see it yet.
Okay.
But you're falling.
Stu, where is my autonomous eye spider drone? And what sights and sounds do it currently project? Is it currently projecting?
Your eye, I guess this happens very quickly as you're falling. Your eye shuts off. It closes like a cat's film over top of it. But instead of protecting you from certain wavelengths of light or whatever the fuck their eyes do, I don't know what cats were. Instead of whatever cats do, it switches from seeing the vision in front of you towards whatever your autonomous spider eye drone. And you see it staring up at the face of Mike Wazowski. He's in a big captain's chair looking thing, and there's a bunch of Nazis all around him, and he seems to be driving some big machine with a bunch of lights beeping and booping all over it, and he is cackling maniacally.
Okay. What do I hear anything other than the cackles?
You hear a ding, and then you feel that ding back in your body.
Gross. So we're being hunted by Nazis.
That didn't really help your current situation.
Not even a little, not even a tiny.
So while that happened, you've fallen another about 40 feet, which then, I guess, as your eyes flit back to you realize you were really high up because you still have not hit the ground yet.
Right. And my dad is wearing a parachute. Yes.
Your dad is not wearing a parachute. Do you want to just try to hold on to your dad and hope things go well?
No.
That's an option. I feel like Secret Parachute is more spy movies than Indiana Jones movies.
Does Book still have... Oh, man. We're falling straight.
Straight down into hopefully water. I guess worst case, it could be like a metal grate.
Is my dad holding anything?
His boomerang. He's holding it back over his shoulder, and he's holding you as tight as he can with the other one.
Okay. All right. I want to get out my hatchet, and I want to throw it down below us as hard as I can to see if one, does it make a splash, and then also to break the water tension.
Okay. I like this idea. I guess for the timing of it, give me a act under fire, and I'm actually going to give you advantage on it because if you mess up the timing a little bit, your dad can save it with the boomerang.
First roll is a 4 and a 5, so re-roll the 4.
It's pretty good.
And I rolled a 3, so 4 and a 5 is 12.
Okay, so yeah, you don't even need your dad's help. He holds on. It looks like he may have been thinking the exact same thing, and you time it better than he did. And you throw this gift store hatchet down underneath you, and the second it leaves your hand, you immediately can see the glint of the water beneath you. So before then, it was just like throwing it mindlessly into darkness. But right after you throw it, you're like, oh shit, I'm really close to the water. And it plunges down, barely breaking the surface tension before you as you smash into it as well. I think you're still going to take a little bit of harm. Damn it. But way less. I'm going to say this would be 2 harm, but your armor does apply. Oh, you got the super sweet suit, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then give me a 0 harm roll, which is just 2d6.
I dislike you right now.
I can pretty much never let you just take no harm when you should be getting hurt.
I rolled a 6 and a 2.
I'm going to say with your mixed success on your hardened move that you miss noticing something important. You plunge into the water, and once again, you're in darkness. You can't breathe. You don't know how to swim. But this time, just seconds later, you feel a strong hand grab your forearm and start pulling you up towards the surface, just like Ocean did to you in the stew. And what you miss is that as you break the surface, it seems like everything in the cave around you, just like for a second, just like shudders and almost fades out. And you could have almost seen into the darkness and what's in this room you're in, but it snaps back just quick enough that you don't notice anything.
Oh, no.
You had water in your eyes and you're coming out, and it just seems like you're in this massive cave. So you get dragged up onto this rocky shore. You're in this huge cave that somehow seems to have like light kind of coming in from the outsides. You can't really see the edges of it. It actually reminds you a lot of Subtropolis, like in the distance, how the lights kind of add up and just create this kind of haziness on the edge. That's what this room looks like, but you're in a small island in this sea of water around you as he drags you up onto it. He goes, Book, are you okay?
You called me Book.
Yes, I know it's you. You're my son. How could I have not noticed right away? Look at you. And he puts his hand on your shoulder.
Look at me.
Oh yeah, I can tell you've been through a lot, Book, but I promise it's all my fault. I shouldn't have left like I did. I should have been back much faster, but things came up, and I don't know how they took you and hid you in this temple.
Oh, they didn't. I came here to get you.
What? But the Temple of 1,000 Moons. I've always known that this was how I'd get you back, but...
Dad, do you remember when you rescued me from the melty cheese monster?
Yes, of course, in the sewers.
Yeah, so Ocean, our friend...
oh shit, I hope he outran that boulder.
I think he'll be fine.
Smash cut Ocean some pancakes with a boulder against the wall.
The boulder's not real. I mean, it's real, but it can hurt us, but it's not real. So Dad, you saved me from the cheese monster. Thank you, by the way.
Of course, Book. I would do anything to keep you safe.
I was brought back here to the tower where you work. Well, where you're enslaved, actually. And then Ocean broke me out, not only a day later. And so the reason they've been using my absence to motivate you is because they didn't have me to begin with. There is no temple. You're in a TV show. We're in the tower that is led by, what's the AI called? Do we have a name for that?
Ocean calls her the Overseer sometimes, but
the
not
Overseer. Really. Okay. The tower run by the Overseer. You're in a TV show, kind of Indiana Jones-esque. Gosh. Do you remember the cave with me and Mom?
Give me a sway someone roll first.
Boy, I rolled 2 5s.
While you're talking, he's looking at you like you're crazy. But then as you start mentioning the cave, he suddenly kind of shakes his head and absentmindedly puts another Camel Crush sponsored menthol ball in his mouth
that he somehow held on to while being swirled underwater.
His hat's still on. And he goes, yeah, in Hamlet opening with Juniper and Beethoven, Hickory Fleek, Pistachio Jones.
Did you say Beethoven?
Yeah, Beethoven. That's how you pronounce it.
You pronounce the TH?
Yeah. Have you been calling him the wrong name? He will not help you with anything if you pronounce his name wrong. That's the first thing I should have told you.
I've been calling Beethoven.
That's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, that's how the Irish would say it.
Yeah, but he's not Irish. Have you seen him?
Well, yeah, but
German as hell.
I feel like a German would also might pronounce a th with just a t sound.
Well, I'm no German expert, but
I mean, it seems like you kind of are. You've been mowing down Nazis all
all my German is learned by killing Nazis.
which I like and respect.
But no, yeah, I remember being there. How did I get here? Wait, so you're saying we're in the tower where, yes, your friend Ocean, I remember he shot me.
Yeah.
Oh, crap. I don't know if you knew that already. If
I
so,
did.
it was no big deal. It wasn't his fault.
I mean, we've addressed it.
That's good. That's good. Yes. And that's now, how long have I been here? He kind of looks at you and he's like trying to gauge how old you are. You can tell.
I think at least 3 years.
3 years. I was so close. We had it. We had the power cores. We were coming to get you.
Ocean stopped you. Do you remember when he shot you?
Yes.
And you gave Mom a power core.
Yes.
She got to the power suits and she's on the surface right now.
Yes, it's a miracle.
But I can't reach her. Her suit is down. That's all I know. And it's stuck.
You're telling me she's been up there for 3 years? She didn't come back down for you?
Like 3 years, like minimum. Yeah.
Well, that's a little alarming.
Yes. Well, the way is blocked. I know the way is blocked because I told the suit to come back and it couldn't.
You told the suit to come back. You really took after your mom there. I don't even know what that means, but that sounds like something she'd say and then make it happen.
Listen, there's more that I have to tell you, but I can't tell you here. We're being monitored. We're being listened to. But the important thing is that I'm here to get you out, and I'm here because I need your help to get to Mom.
No, don't worry, Book. I will get you to Mom. We're going to be on that surface in no time.
I mean,
you just got to figure out a way out of here.
I mean, I'm more accurately. I mean, I'm kind of going to get you to Mom. Let's be clear here. Like you would be fucked if I wouldn't hear right now.
We'll get each other to Mom. And he smiles and puts his hand on your shoulder.
You would still be chasing me into the moon of the temple moon. Okay.
When you say that, the ceiling starts lighting up in these like glowing runes.
Oh, shit.
And it's just like one at a time, like stars winking into existence. But you notice it's like 1,000, probably exactly, if you could count, little carvings of different moon phases, like imperceptibly shifting through the phases over 1,000 discrete steps. It goes from a new moon to a full moon, all in the ceiling in this giant big spiral. And it immediately illuminates this whole cavern. And it's not bright, but it's definitely like normal kind of inside apocalypse lighting in here now. And he looks up at it kind of wowed. He goes, wait, we got to get out of here. We're in the tower now.
Yes.
How do we get out of the tower?
Leave that to me. I can't tell you things. They can hear us.
What if we whisper really quietly?
I don't know if that works or not. But Stu, I want to look down. Like, what are we standing? You said it's an island?
Very small island. Yeah, really just like just rock poking out of this.
Okay, and what's around us?
Water. You're in a huge cavern on a rocky island surrounded by water.
Okay.
Give me a read a switch roll if you're trying to figure out your next immediate action, I guess.
2 6s.
Ask me 3 questions.
I don't get a 4th because it's a crit yes.
Nope. I do love PBTA systems. A lot of them have the ability to improve a basic move, or like several basic moves usually is how it works. But then it gives you a special bonus effect when you get 12 or higher, which I think is really cool.
That is cool. If only we did that here.
Yep, but we don't.
Okay, I'm going to ask who's in control here and how can I tell? I'm going to ask what my best way out is again and hopefully get something a little more concrete. That was not a dig at you. That's a dig at the situation. Well, that's a comment on the futility of our situation. And then also I would like to ask, what represents the best opportunity for me to communicate to my dad without being heard?
Hard questions from a hard boy.
Turgid man, Book McCready's asked 3 questions to the DM.
So I'm going to start with what may seem like the hardest one, but I actually found to be the easiest. So who's in control here? You know, at some level, you're still at the mercy of the tower right now. But as you're looking around and trying to see like what's the way out, you finally notice some of that flickering that's going on every once in a while, just along the edges. Everything seems to like flicker out, and you swear for a second you see ocean. So you think there's like a battle right now between the tower or whatever this room is you're in and ocean for control. For how to talk to your old Poppy, you know everything is being monitored, but you do not know how closely at all. You haven't seen any indication since you've been here that you're being like extra watched or anything like that. Like you really haven't, this sounds mean, but you haven't been treated as special at all, right? Like if the tower just wanted to kill you because you're booking an ocean, they could have probably already put you in a situation where that happens. You've been knocked out by bone gas at least 2 times now that you remember, and you were able to come to and go to your next audition. So you know you're not like flying under the radar, but there's no indication that you're being super closely every minutia of your move tracked. You know it's all being recorded, so it could be found out at some point, but you kind of feel like there may be some wiggle room. Like it's not like you would say a word and then suddenly red lights come on and they try to kill you. You don't know why that's the case, though. You feel like you're very important and the tower should be trying to fight back right now. Does that make sense? Is that a good enough answer?
Yes, I have a plan.
Or how to get out. You know, I'm going to give part of a really bad answer, but then I will elaborate on it. So the bad answer is, you know, when the episode ends, you get out. That's happened in every other episode so far. So when it's reached its natural conclusion, when there's been a climax and a resolving action afterwards, then you've been out. But
we also know that we would get separated if that happens, right?
You don't know, but you might, because every time you've immediately blacked out. You don't know what caused that. You don't know if maybe what you've done to avoid bone gas side effects right now would help with that, because you don't really know how it works. You just know at the end of each episode, blacked out, came to back in the green room. Don't know how that happens. So there's definitely a risk there. So in some way, it's like you may want to figure out something before the episode ends, but you know when the episode ends, all of this goes away at least somehow.
Yeah. Okay. So I put my hand on my dad's shoulder and I say, okay, Dad, listen carefully. And I squeeze his shoulder. And then I say, we should transfer, and I squeeze his shoulder, to an opening, and I squeeze his shoulder, soon, and I squeeze his shoulder. This water may rise. Maybe we can navigate through this tunnel and find a sewer that opens to the surf. These moon symbols that tower above us must mean something. I'd kill to know what. Once we get out, we should oversee the excavation and study of this place. But first, we must escape. And I squeezed his shoulder one last time. I squeezed his shoulder on the following words. Transfer opening soon. Water through sewer to tower. Must kill, oversee, and escape.
He seems like he understands. I'm not even going to make you roll for that because I think that would just work. And it was a sufficiently cheesy enough line to fit into the episode without raising any suspension. And he goes, understood, book. And he kind of stands up and he looks around. And then give me a read a sitch roll.
I just did that.
Yeah, this is a different sitch.
I rolled 2 5s.
Okay, ask me 3 questions.
Well, now who's in control here?
Good question.
What poses the biggest threat to me? What represents the best opportunity for us to safely navigate the waterway?
Pretty much all those answers are going to be the same thing. As you spot before it ambushes you, luckily, a big light on the front of some old-timey ass U-boat that's coming through the waters towards you. So that submarine certainly poses the biggest immediate threat. The best way to navigate out of here may be that submarine. It'll certainly let you go through this water. It's doing it right now. So you'd probably be able to get wherever you want to. And then who's in control here is, again, a very complicated question. You still do feel like there's this weird static every once in a while, that you feel like something's going on between this room and ocean. And it may seem like the U-boat's going to be in control very shortly because it could be filled with any number of Nazis. It's about to whatever the opposite of submerge is. Emerge from the water. Supermerge.
Surface.
Up. Supermerge up above the surface of the water. But you do know, since you rolled a full success on your research roll, you know in your head that this is Charles McCready's show and he's always supposed to win. So they cannot possibly be in control here, even if it seems like it.
Sick. I like that. How close is the submarine as it's surfacing?
Like 10 feet.
Is it close enough that I could jump onto it as it surfaces?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. I would like to do that and get out my blowtorch.
Okay. The second it comes out of the water, it pushes this huge wave of water up onto the island, almost filling it up, but you've leapt off just before that. And you land clunk, clunk, your big chunky boots right on the top of the sub.
Okay.
And you get your blowtorch out.
I want to find the giant circular door that I'm sure they're spinning open, and I want to use the blowtorch to melt the basically the big latch so that they can't. Or do I want to melt the hinges? Yeah, that would get me good enough, I think, right?
Yeah. Give me an act under fire roll.
I want to make it so that they can't open it. Act under fires 11, baby.
I usually only give you an option on a mixed success. I think that's all I'm supposed to do, but I'm going to give you an option on a full success. Either it's fully welded and they're not going to be able to open through this part ever. They're still going to probably figure out a way to get out. It may be a little bit. They may have to like blow a hole in it, which then could make the submarine not usable or something like that. Right now, they're not going to be able to get out of it. Or you're going to melt it so perfectly that this top is going to fall down on top of a bunch of their heads, smashing them beneath it, significantly reducing the amount of Nazis you're about to deal with.
Fuck it. Yeah, let's incapacitate a bunch of Nazis.
Okay, you blowtorch in a circle around the top, and it cuts through it like a James Bond watch in GoldenEye, opening a vent.
Nice.
And you see the middle part start spinning. It's going spin, spin, spin right as you complete it. And as you finish cutting the circle, it falls straight down. And this thing's like heavy. This thing's like hundreds of pounds. And you can't see it, but you hear a sequence of Nazis climbing ladders that get clonked on the head as this hits the ladder rungs going down and down and down. And as you peer down it, you see like 7 Nazis spread out along the bottom of this submarine with these red lights spinning inside of it. And this hatch here, all those Nazis are.
I turned to my dad. Do you still have a grenade on you?
Always. And he pulls the pin and tosses it up to you.
Okay. And I want to climb to the crow's nest on the submarine because normally there's a second set of controls up there. And I want to see if they work. I assume they don't.
Okay. What are you doing with the grenade first?
Oh, I assumed he tossed it down into the opening.
He threw it to you.
Oh, God. Okay. Well, then I pull the pin and I throw it down there.
Oh, he already pulled the pin. So you just drop it into the hole.
Yeah, I think so, right? Because there's going to be more down there.
Yeah, absolutely. You drop it in the hole, it falls and explodes. You don't have to roll for this. You're just dropping.
Oh, wait. I have bone gas.
You do have bone gas.
All right, Stu, I want to drop my canister of bone gas down with the grenade.
So you want the bone gas to basically explode out through as much as the sub as possible with this grenade propelling it.
Yes.
Again, you're not going to have to roll with that. The bone gas, is this your one and only bone gas canister?
Yes.
Okay. Your one bone ass canister.
But I want to test how it behaves like when we use it.
You drop it down, and as it explodes, it plumes out of the top. This kind of white gas shoots out of the top like a mushroom cloud. You're able to step back before it gets you, but it floats up to the ceiling. And you hear like 8 seconds later, in sequence, just a bunch of Nazis getting knocked out and clunking to the ground. You hear weapons dropping. You hear their metal helmets hitting the metal grates on the bottom of the sub. Just clunk, 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 all throughout the sub underneath you.
Okay. Are there any other hatches to the deck of the submarine?
In fact, one pops open on the very aft side of the submarine. So you've jumped like on the nose, right? And then you just did all this bone gas stuff and you're moving towards the controls. Is that correct?
Yeah. The
still
crow's
doing
nest,
that?
yeah.
Okay, yeah. You're moving towards the crow's nest when a back hatch pops open and you see Mike Wazowski pop his head out. And shortly after, a large whatever German machine gun, chain gun type thing existed in the 40s. 30s? Can't remember when Indiana Jones takes place.
I think probably like really early 40s. So he pulls out like an MG42.
And it starts spraying bullets all around.
Was there any, is there any bone gas leaking out of like where Mike Wazowski just popped off of?
No, not where he is.
Okay. Well, I have a big thing in the middle I can hide behind, I reckon.
Yeah.
So while Mike Wazowski is probably spraying bullets indiscriminately, I'd like to replace the CO2 cartridge in my spike gun, and I'd like to load a spike.
Okay, you can do that as long as you're still staying behind that thing. His bullets can't hit you right now. They are piercing into the submarine. They're piercing into the crow's nest on the other side of it. So yeah, you hear the bullets raining into it, but you're completely safe right here while you reload. Your dad is running up behind you though.
Okay, I want to climb the ladder to the top of the crow's nest, but stay really low so Mike Wazowski doesn't see me. And then I want to line up a shot and I want to shoot him in the forehead. Wait, no, he's a real person. Oh, does Book do this? Okay, Book does not shoot him in the head. Book wants to shoot him in the right shoulder. His Mike Wazowski's right shoulder, chest area.
Okay, he is right-handed, which you learned by seeing him in Jeopardy. That's what he held the buzzer with. Give me a do battle roll, which may be like your third one ever. So you may have to look up the rules for it.
Man, that was not a good roll.
You roll 2 dice though, so that's good.
What do you mean you roll 2 dice?
So roll 2 dice. One of them is going to be assigned to attacking, and the other one's going to be assigned to acting under fire. You get to choose which one.
1 and a 4, and my second roll was 2 2s. I'll add my cool to the 4 because it doesn't make a difference, and then I'll have a 5 for the other one.
As you try to line up the shot, you shoot, and this gun is not intended for the sort of range you're at, where you're hunkering behind this. It's not a super accurate weapon, and you tried to do like a called shot on his shoulder, so it clunks to the side, not particularly close to him. And that lets him know right where you're at. And it seems like somehow the machine gun picks up fire and it just mows through this crow's nest entirely, just slunks it off into the side, leaving you completely exposed. And you do take a couple bullet shots right to you. And you hear your dad immediately behind you yell, "Buck." So you would be taking 4 harm, but I believe you have 2
4
armor. Yes.
What the fuck? Yeah,
So you only take 2 harm.
I'm at 10 p.m., baby.
Nice. And you are completely exposed now.
Well, he's below me now?
A little bit below you. So he's poking his head out with this giant machine gun that's like on a stand on front of it. You were near the crow's nest, but it has been melted away. So you're like a little higher than him because it's has a little curve to it, but not too much. As he leaves you fully exposed, he pulls himself out of this hole and draws a saber, a nice Nazi saber, and a handgun. "It's the son of McCready here. I should have known the Temple of 1,000 Moons held more secrets than I even expected. I hope you're prepared to watch your son die."
I still have the blowtorch in my hand, right?
Yep.
Is there any like railing next to me?
Yeah.
Can I use the blowtorch to separate a long chunk of railing?
Yes.
Okay. I do that and then I heft it like a sword. Wait, but he has a pistol too?
Yeah.
Can I load a spike? Do I have time to do that?
You already had a spike. Or yeah, you can have a spike loaded.
Okay.
So you weld off this big chunk of railing.
But I make sure it's like jagged on one end, you know?
He's sprinting towards you along the top of this U-boat while you weld this off. And that gives basically just enough time for your dad to catch up to you. So your dad's side by side with you and he's running towards you with this saber held up in the air.
Right.
And you got a big pole.
I toss the sword to my dad because the cane sword was his, right?
You don't have the cane sword. You gave it to...
No. I'm saying I give my dad the piece of railing.
Oh, okay.
And then I have a blowtorch and a spike gun in each hand. And I'm like, you still remember how to use this thing?
He does a fancy epee-ish Olympic maneuver with it, like riding a bike. And he smiles at you.
I shoot a spike I shoot another spike at homeboy. Center mass.
He's actually not trying to shoot back. He is running at you with a sword. So you have right now, this is probably the one moment you have a range advantage on him.
I rolled a 6 and a 4. But wait, attack someone is hard. So it's -1. So I rolled a 9.
So choose one. Inflict terrible harm, seize hold of something, get them out of your way, impress, frighten, or dismay them, or pin them down.
Yeah, pin him down. But he still has a gun.
He runs towards you, and you see your dad kind of flourish this scrap metal you've given him and hold the boomerang back over his shoulder like he's ready to hurl it at him as soon as he comes into range. And Mike Wazowski pulls the Nazi blade up to the side of his head like a samurai charging, ready to run it through you. as you take aim with the spike gun and shoot it directly at a center of mass. As it makes contact with him, his whole body jolts to the side as you pin him against some of the wreckage of the crow's nest that was still remaining. And you've noticed all of the other Nazis that have been killed have been all like pretty, honestly, like comical. They, like, even when the grenade was thrown earlier, when you first got here, they just kind of got like blown over a ridge and disappeared. This is the first time you've seen someone actually get clean fucked up, and this bolt like goes through him and blood starts gushing and his mouth coughs up blood and he's like, oh god, what the fuck? And he drops his sword and his gun and they go skittering off the edge as he's just kind of pinned to this metal on the submarine.
Oh, can I step on his sword before it goes off the edge?
Give me a act under fire to try to catch the sword before it skitters away.
That's act under fire. I rolled a 7.
+3 or 7 total?
7 total.
This is the worst mixed success ever. You grab the sword. It's really shitty, but you have it.
Is it less shitty than a railing?
Oh no, absolutely not. But it has pronounced Nazi regalia on it.
All right, I give it to my dad. I don't want that shit.
He looks at it and he's like, but he's like,
really?
You need it. I'm not a big fan. I'm a big fan of FDR. Have you heard of this Tennessee Valley? Wait, shit. Sorry, that's the past. It's like,
give me the railing. Give me the railing.
Here you go.
I go up to Mike Wazowski.
He says,
Mike,
bury me with my socks.
Bury you with your sock?
My socks.
Wait, Mike, are you with me, Mike?
Yeah, I'm with you. It's getting dark.
You're not a Nazi, right?
No, of course not.
Okay, great. Mike, I need you to listen to me. We're going to get you out of here, but you need to stop pretending to be Nazis. Stop trying to kill us. Got it?
Okay.
Pinky promise?
Yeah, pinky promise. And he holds up his pinky.
Great. I pinky promise him. Then I remove him from the wall and I use the blowtorch to cauterize his wounds.
Oh my God. Okay, give me another act under fire to not kill him with a blowtorch.
Double 6s, baby.
You do not kill him with a blowtorch. He yells in pain. You feel everything kind of shakes again in a very strange way. And you feel like you're at a really weird moment because like there was a climax that kind of happened. There was a big fight, but then it ended like very suddenly. And there is not like a clear resolution. This submarine probably can't go anywhere. You see it's like riddled with bullets. There's some explosion down in it. And you just kind of look around this cavern and there's like nothing else going on.
Wait, I just realized I wasted the bone gas on fake people. I'm so stupid. Oh my God.
Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of Oops, All Apocalypses. Gen Con is coming up and we've completely forgotten to talk about it. If you see anyone there wearing an Oops All Apocalypse shirt, just walk up to them and try to guess which host it actually is. Not all of us will be there, so it'll be a fun little test for you guys. The music and editing was performed by Stu Masterson. Brady McDonough made the main art logo, that little thing in your podcatcher. He made that all by himself. And Jacob is not pictured here because he was absent for picture day. Love you, bye.
I think I found Lois Lane very interesting.